So delivery is a dot one to the hoop. And Marcus Trescotty, he would have had the highest one-day international score at this venue for England back in 2004, the 1st of May, against the West Indies right here. And so many guys would have scored centuries. Chris Gayle, Shivnarine Chanderpaul, Marlon Samuels, Ahmad Shahzad of Pakistan, Karen Pollard, and even Lou Vincent would have scored centuries here at this venue. One-day international centuries, that is Greg Wilson.
Yes, the innings of Trescotty, I remember that inning pretty well. That was a back-to-back one-days that England had against West Indies right here. I remember watching that game from the Pakistan.
Good delivery there from Philip. As the over comes to an end at the end of it, it is 164 for 3. 9 shake departed in this over that was just been completed by Philip. 403.
Yes, good over there by Philip to dismiss the Centurion. And as you did indicate a little earlier on, if West Indies could perhaps just pull things back and kept Bangladesh perhaps below a score of 250, they would have considered themselves to have done a good job, considering the sort of platform that has been set so far.
Yeah, certainly. As you're mentioning, that innings by Marco Trescotty, and of course, was presented by a list of statistics on ODI cricket at this ground by Mr. Roland Cox. I want to say special good afternoon to him and thank him very much for his great work that he has got in putting together all of these statistics. A top statistician, Roland Cox.
Certainly one of the best in the Caribbean, and I could tell you that he has quite a bit of statistics that you could have a look at.
Loud appeal for leg before and he's given. I was just about to say that Brian Charles is coming and looking to strike. And there he is striking to remove the captain of the Bangladesh A-team, Mohammad Mithun, for 28. Here's a look at that again. Full, too full to be sweeping.
Certainly he was plumb.
And plumber, done a plumber fixing a pipe, Greg Wilson.
Looked like this one would have missed leg. Could only hit one stump. That would have been the middle stump.
Well, the middle of middle stump.
So good wicket there by Brian Charles. Again, the two set batsmen, they go in within 2 overs there for Bangladesh. So they would not be too pleased with those 2 quick dismissals. And that of the 2 set batsmen.
Yeah, where were the wickets going to come from? We were asking that question. Well, Anderson Phillip was taken one. Charles was taken. So he picks up his second. Brian Charles. And he now has 2 for 28. It's been a good spell thus far from him.
Yes, into his 8th over. Thought that he was introduced a bit late into the attack, but certainly from the time he came in, he has kept things a bit tight, and he has picked up wickets.
Yeah, definitely. And 164 for 4. Just a short while ago. Was 164 for 2.
West Indies now need to get in a few overs in quickly before those batsmen could get going, because we have 2 relatively new batters at the crease. Good time to get in at least 4 to 6 overs in as quickly as possible, with very little score being coming off those overs.
Yeah, in comes Shabir Rahman. Shabir Rahman, who of course would have been included in that Asia Cup 2022 squad for Bangladesh. As the man has just been introduced to the middle after the fall of the wicket of the captain. Here's Charles, who gives up a single early in the innings of Sabir Rahman. He's off the mark, he's off the running. That would feel good.
Yes, as a batsman, you want to get off the mark as quickly as possible.
Lots of overs still to go in this innings. And Deepu is off and running as well. Sharat Hussein Deepu turning that one off the legs and picks up an easy single. So Shabir Rahman, 30 years of age, approaching 31. And he is someone who has been around for quite a while in Bangladesh cricket. And he would have really worked his way up the ranks as well. He would have shot into the limelight with an 18-ball unbeaten 33 in a gold medal match of the 2010 Asian Games against Afghanistan. Bangladesh would have needed 44 from the last 5 overs of that game. And Shabir would have coolly, just like how he played that forward defense, he would have coolly struck 3 sixes to ensure the country's first gold medal in the Asian Games itself. That's something for you, Greg.
Certainly that would have been a momentous occasion there for the country and Shabir himself. So certainly has a bit of batting pedigree.
Yep. He's a big hitter of the cricket ball, and he would have participated in the 2010 on the 19 World Cup. Of course, prior to that knock in the Asian Games, he would have earlier turned the heads. There's big spinning leg breaks in the Dhaka club scene. Here's Philip, who started the counter-attack for the West Indies A team after he picked up that wicket of Mohammad Naeem Sheikh. And if you're just joining us, out of this 166 that you're seeing on your picture at the moment, Mohammad Naeem Sheikh has scored 103, and skipper Mohammad Mitun would have scored 28. That's 131 of that runs that have been scored by those two batsmen. Played away nicely. So many great batsmen plays that shot well. Greg Wilson, that dab down to third man very late. One who does it so well, and I just admire the way he does it, is Kane Williamson.
Yes, it's always a good area to get runs once it is vacant. And it's not a high-risk shot either.
Not at all. Sabir Rahman, he's due for some runs for the Bangladeshis. You'll know that. He's been out of the setup for a while. He's come back in. He's a hard worker. He's a very hard worker, Sabir Rahman from Rajshahi. And speaking about his experience, with 11 test matches, 66 one-day internationals, and 44 T20 internationals for the Bangladesh senior team. And he has an ODI 100 to his name as well. And the thing is, for Shabir Rahman, he would have had some good performances. He would have had starts. The thing is, in his recent stay matches, he would have had some against Sheikh Jamal, participating in that tournament for Rupganj. He would have had 36 against Ghazi Group 90, against Abahan Limited 38, and against Prime Bank 26. So some starts are not carrying on. This one into the air, there is a feeler of that deep backward square leg. Only one goes Rahman to the air. So those two wickets now, Greg Wilson brings two right-handers to the middle. So that would settle the minds of the West Indies just a bit. But as a bowler, as the bowling unit, you picked up two wickets, You don't want to let up this little pressure that you're building up here now. Fighting back, and you want to continue to fight back. You want to continue to pick up wickets.
Yes, Western is into the midst of a good little spell, and having seen the back of the two set batsmen, two new batters at the crease now. They only face what, 8 and 6 deliveries so far. So you want to keep the pressure as long as possible. By doing so, the run rate certainly would have decreased, and the projected score perhaps could limit it as well. And by building pressure also, there's a fair chance of picking up a few more wickets.
This time Rahman is scooping this one down to a fine leg. Springer does exceptionally well to chase down that one, but in the process, Rahman gets
I think an adjustment certainly need to be made to the field. We saw early on the batsmen who were taking easy single in the driving the ball through the long on region. The fielder was taken from the short foot man and sent across.
Quicker. And the slide there from the field, all in, the fun. Not to stop it. It was well away from him.
But I think what best should have been done was to bring in the man from the long on boundary into the long on region.
Yep.
These are two new batters. If anything, encourage them to go over the top early if they want to.
Very much so. This one takes the outside edge and easy runs here again.
You see? Just what I was saying, man, remember there was a man at short foot one and he was removed from this position. So there are areas which the captain is opening up and he's making it easy because these batters are new batters at the crease.
I would have brought up my long on and long off fielders, maybe my long on fielder. Who's brought in a slip? Two new batsmen.
Because if they want to chance their hand very early in the inning, then so be it.
Exactly.
But to just allow them to take easy singles at will like this, you're just going to, the scoreboard is ticking and they're also going to be building their confidence.
Sweeping this one away for 4. Connection to perfection.
Yes, sweeping outside the off stump, but this was a full delivery and really just picking the gap. So good execution there by Shabir.
Yeah, the backward square leg fielder and the wide short fine leg fielder both inside the circle. So easy pickings there for Shabir Rahman. And there goes the experience for you.
Yes, certainly. Very expensive over there by Charles. Some 10 runs coming off this last over.
The St. Michael's born and bred Shamar Springer is back with us. And this one down the leg side, the silver cannot get onto it. But the fielder comes around from fine leg. And they've got 2. Leg by signal by umpire Tuckett.
Western just seems to just be easing up the pressure after the loss of those 2 quick wickets that Bangladesh just had.
Yeah, so quickly you've seen Shabir Rahman go on the 11, sorry. Again there, Greg, an easy single on the onside. If anyone I'd want to be bowling to at the moment, it's Shahada Hussein Deepu.
Yeah, West Indies really are not making life too difficult out in the middle for those two batters. They are picking up those ones and twos too easily.
Wide, Tuckett gets into the act. So 2 leg buys and a wide already in the over. And of course, that just tells you that the radar from Springer is not right in this over.
And the rate is back up to 5.
Shabir Rahman, all the experience that he has, just quietly finding the gaps, all the gaps that is there. That's what good players do. They find the gaps, pick them, and they get runs. When I speak about great players, I speak about Greg Wilson.
Not in that mode there.
Too short this time from Springer. And he's being warned. 1 for the over.
$182 for 2. Certainly a good launching pad for 4. Sorry, good launching pad for Bangladesh.
Came back into him too close for him to play that stroke. But I see what he's trying to do. The third-man fielder is so wide. He's looking to access that region, that big gap, which is good. He's to pick the ball. Again, down the leg side. Springer, what are you doing?
Yeah, certainly he's struggling in this over. Second wide that is bowled in this over. And we also had 2 leg buys up. The first delivery that was angling down the leg side. Certainly he has not gotten it right. Okay, on this occasion.
Great stop there by Tevin Imlach, diving away to his left. Deepu this time though, making connection. Delivery outside the off stump. He was looking to do that a number of occasions. And he gets 2, and that ends the over. At the end of it, it's 186 for the loss of 4.
Yes, Springer on this occasion really has not gotten the radar right at all. We would need to settle in quickly, see if we could get among the wickets.
Well, it has all been the Muhammad Naeem Sheikh show today. 103 of 117 before he was dismissed by Anderson Phillip, caught by Justin Greaves. Saka, he went for 6. And Greg is just pointing out that amazing figure 14 boundaries in that 103, Greg.
Yes, so clearly that tells you that he was feasting on quite a few loose deliveries that was served up to him.
Single down to long on. Greg was saying earlier that those fielders, long on and long off, could have been brought up inside the circle to try and limit those easy singles. And ask the batsman to go over the top.
Yeah, because they are just coming into the crease.
There we go again, another easy single. And at the moment, the Bangladesh A team, in the form of Sabir Rahman and Deepu, would relish that, just getting a feel of what the track is doing so they can launch in the final 10, final 5 as the case may be, when they do choose to.
But you see how easy it is for the Bangladesh batters to get the ones and rotate the strike. And that is the difference when West Indies batters are at the crease. It's so difficult for them to manipulate the ball into the gaps and to get the ones and twos at will.
Yeah, they put a lot of pressure on themselves when that happens. In the last 4 deliveries, we've seen 4 singles.
And we have not seen any change in the field.
And as easy as you like, final delivery of the over in a single, and that takes the score to 191 for the loss of 4 after 38.
So good intelligent batting there by Deepu and Sawer. Really hitting the ball into the gaps and picking the runs at the wheel. So the captain, the silver, certainly needs to put on his thinking cap. Need to make scoring a bit more difficult for the batsmen, because with some 12 overs remaining in the inning, and with just 4 wickets down, so West Indies will need to pull things back a bit. If not, they may very well be looking at a score of over 160. I'm 260, sorry.
Yes, and Brian Charles completing his spell, 2 for 45 and 10. After that last over, 45 and 10 for the off spinner, Greg. A good spell.
Yes, a good enough return.
Kept things tight. He was taken to the boundaries on a number of occasions by Mohammad Naeem Sheikh. But otherwise, he's really held down run scoring. Most importantly, he was able to prize out 2 wickets, and one at a very crucial time. Springer continuing to Sabir Rahman. Good comeback by Springer in this over. Cramping